Daniel, why am I killing shulkers?
To get enough shulker boxes ready for other farms.
That's kind of true. So I've been AFKing the shulker farm quite a bit recently because, well, I mean,
Yay.
having more shulker shells is always good. We realize that with the slime farm and the mob farm incoming, we're probably going to need a lot of them. And I figured, why not AFK this farm since nobody else is overnight, because it's a good thing to do. I also never mentioned this in the tutorial for this video, but if you stop killing them yourself, the shulkers will just kind of come down here and shoot at each other, so this thing can kind of be AFK'd. Kind of. It'll be slower, but it'll work. But I'm going to turn this off for now because me and Daniel have a little bit of inspiration. We have a little bit of inspiration for how to turn this thing into a powder farm rather than a concrete farm.
We spent so much time on it.
I had 226 levels, and I forgot to put my boots back on. Oh, also iron thinks we destroyed the concrete farm.
Wait.
Iron's about to get horny. Hey!
Yay.
So, for the conversion to powder, obviously this whole thing is a converter. So the powder duper comes through here, and then this converts all of the concrete powder into concrete, and then it spits out the other end. And this is all well and good and everything, unless you want powder. So we tried a couple things. First off, we tried a nice half-assed approach that works with sand and gravel and dragon eggs and anvils, but concrete likes to turn to concrete blocks when it goes through there. And then we decided maybe we'll just try Mango's thing because he already did all the wiring, so why try designing something new? However, I realized that powder and sand has this property where if I can actually get off to my other screen here, it will actually break on top of itself when items go through. So, as you can see here, the items will just land on top of each other, and I think it's the entities colliding together that actually breaks them, and then they spit off to the other side. So if I can just build something up quick, you can see that all of the concrete powder will just get spit off to the side and go into the water stream. This is actually incredibly convenient. As you can see here, you would think like maybe I'd have to build up a 3x3 or build up walls around it, but as with the direction, it's prioritizing west, and I'm sure that there's something in the code that like makes this reliable, but as far as you can see here, all of the powder can just easily be converted into, all the powder can just easily be converted into item form, and then it can just fall down into the void or our storage room or whatever. But in this case, I think this can actually happen. So why this is extra convenient is, on Minerva, as you guys probably just saw, our storage room is over here, and our powder room is even further back. So this is the direction I wanted to take the items anyway, and I think we might just be able to do that if this works exactly as is. And we're thinking we'll just, I was going to put it below this, but now that I'm looking at this in the way that I am now, I think that this could be done without removing the obsidian platform at all. Eritige, he fished for multiple weeks straight, and just, I have never seen that many name tags.
He has nearly filled up a single chest with name tags.
These are minus the 2 stacks that Omar named a bunch of slimes with. I think that was TNT, not Omar.
It was TNT.
What an awesome stream.
Are you kidding me?
So guys, I loaded up the schematic for our mob farm. We're gonna have a couple blocks to the edge of our perimeter for clearance on this thing. Oh my god, guys, this is so big.
Is it gonna is it gonna affect Gulby's design as far as the walls of the perimeter?
No, no,
Oh, that's
it won't
fine.
affect
I
the
don't
walls. It's just a gigantic disc. Wow. His first time logging on.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in the
Yes.
end.
Okay, I'm coming.
So apparently, Daniel told me about a little something going on here. He teased me about it, and I'm excited. Well, let's head to the middle here. He told me that Feloti had worked on or finished the staircase leading out of here. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's just a giant spiral outline somewhere. Alright, so there's a hole coming from above with a lot of Endermen in it. 91 of them
Yes.
would be pretty close.
Where am I supposed to look?
But I don't know where the spiral is. Ah, run away! So now
There's
that
that
he's
spawn.
dead, all the Endermen want to play with me. I
Yo,
don't,
thanks for aggroing them.
I don't like this.
Repper,
But
you
why
need
is
me to
there a
come get
dark
you?
hole down there even?
You know, some people wonder why I carry a sword. The real reason is because you can get looting with it, and I use looting at quite a few farms, but also Sweeping Edge comes in handy sometimes. Alright, so Repper's still getting a tour from Sig. I am ready to test this. I know that this looks like it could be a really bad idea, and I totally agree that, like, if the powder comes through and hits the water on its way down into the rest of the farm, that could be catastrophic. But I don't think, I just tested it on the side where, in a different world actually, where when the powder passes as an entity, it doesn't get converted by the water. So it should be fine, it's only when it lands. But to convert it to like just powder, we can drop it here, and then the powder will drop through that obsidian block, if I can just do that. It'll drop through here, and then should pop off to the side, and then I can just add a little bit of that to trail it downwards. And, well, let's give it a test. Alright, I got a second account signed in. So, what I need to test are two things. It'll land on that slab and not get converted by the water. So let's just do a quick test. I'm actually going to hop into Spectre mode so we can get a better angle on this without giving myself a headache here. Ah! I record in full screen, I apologize. So let's just turn this on with my second account here. Alright, so that should start duping, and the items are just going through completely fine. You can see they're converting as powder. So if I just hop into survival mode here, flip this switch, the items should be building up, but it looks like they're popping up over here. So this is another interesting problem. I'm not exactly sure why none of the blocks are like stopping here, but as I can demonstrate, if the items come through on the obsidian platform like so, the items will always stop just a couple blocks higher. So if I can just do that, there you go. They always stop on this level, on apparently Y50. I don't know why the blocks insist on breaking on this level, but this actually isn't a problem. I can easily have like a simple piston gate that'll just break this staircase and have the items go right into the item stream. I can make this work. Pablo, you've been summoned. I need to displace these two stairs.
Internet, you're ridiculous.
And then turn them into an ice stream. Like, well, actually, I really only need to displace one.
That's quite easy.
Nothing better than taking a beautiful build like this and placing pistons everywhere. This is pretty obvious, but Pablo and I have kind of confirmed that, like, the only way we're going to be able to, like, push the blocks up from the side to push the items to the center here. I don't actually know if I recorded this. We're going to drop water in from below with the items pushed up, and then the items can just break here. Water will get stuck like right here. It'll just be facing against the block. But as we've shown, for whatever reason, it really prioritizes the west. So with this pushed back, all the items will come down here, and it shouldn't be a problem at all. However, yeah, I am going to need to figure out something a little nicer than this. Actually, it looks like I can just shorten that window and then move those stairs down a block, and it should be fine. Pablo wants me to unmute my mic. Oh no, I started recording with my streaming layout. Whoops. Aha! So actually this looks really good. I mean, if I didn't like show this in a video that I made this a little bit smaller, you would not have even noticed that I did anything. But in the terms of documentation, or in the context of documentation, for the purposes of documentation, there you go. So Pablo's down here being a wiring magician. I have no idea what he's doing, but pretty soon here, all these pistons should get powered. It might not be that hard, actually. So Pablo's still working on that corner block. Because there's a sea lantern right there, we can't really power it, but I actually really like this. This is, it's really convenient because usually when you're powering from the inside, it's really difficult to get those corner pistons, but as you can see in this case, we're not even using any, so it's really not a problem. Let's screw with Pablo here and kind of demonstrate this on camera somehow. Let me just build this up real quick. Oh no, he's in my way. There we go. So you can just easily power it just like that. But you can see these still need to go. But this is looking pretty good. And I decided to use dust just because it's really nice to use. It'll power all of them all at once. And because this is a toggle switch, like this is something that will only be triggered by players manually every once in a while. it's really not that bad. To those of you who don't know, Dust is just really laggy, so we try to use it sparingly, but in this case, I mean, you'll start it at the beginning of your session, and then it'll be flicked again at the end of your session. This is not like a constant clock. If anything, look at this thing. Look how much dust that uses, huh? Yeah. I've decided that this is where the lever will be. I think it's actually a pretty good spot. Pablo, I think you had a little bit of a spill. You gonna clean this up there, pal? Alright, this has got to be some of the ugliest wiring I have ever done, but at the very least, it should do the job. So if I can just boop, go here. If I trigger this, it should turn off the water and the pistons, but the pistons might need to be delayed because the water is going to spill down. Alright, now flip off the lever. Okay, so I gave this bottom down here a 4-tick delay. It's probably going to need more than that, but otherwise, this should be good. Just long enough for the water to not flood. Okay, so the water, alright, it could use a little bit more delay, and I think I can do that, but if we turn it back on, it should come up kind of just in time. Yeah, that's fine. I found a decent helmet in my inventory, I don't know how, but I went to eat dinner, and it looks like Pablo cleaned this up pretty nice. You would almost not even know we did anything, save for the packed ice. It's a little bit suspicious. So let's turn this on here and show you guys what it does. So basically you can just, they pop up right away so it catches the water, and then we have it on a long delay so that it just closes long enough for the water to not spread everywhere. And it looks like Pablo must have done a comparator fader because there's not a lot of room back there. Am I going to call it? No, he just made a really long chain of repeaters. Okay, so yeah, this works totally fine. And then the water just comes down here where it'll get caught by a water stream that I did not put in place because we were still working on it. So let me just get that in there. And if I just check in spectator mode, you should be able to confirm that all is well. So, okay, I'm just gonna, yeah, alright. So, now everything is nice and in place. Let's actually turn this on with my other account, and it should work completely fine. So you can now see that all of the items are just popping out. So, from my perspective, all I've done is turn the farm on with one account, and I've popped this up with the other. And all of the powder is dropping into place. Oh, this is so satisfying because we had quite a few troubles, as you saw, with the other designs that weren't working, but this was kind of concerning me a little bit, and I'm happy it's finally working. So obviously we're just using orange right now as a arbitrary type. This could be any kind of concrete powder coming through here, any color, and this is really, really, really nice. So the way to use this kind of in conjunction with the other design would be to, I would recommend, like this is kind of a guide to just if anybody's curious, and for Minerva members, turn off the duper, like so, break the piece in the middle, or wait on that at least. So just turn it off, convert this back to the normal design, or just the default layout, break that, get rid of any extras, and then break this, and then this is where you can start trying to line it up. So I don't want to I don't want to try to do this live on camera, but basically you could just turn this on and then have it dupe concrete like it normally does. So yes, massive success. This is what me and Daniel wanted to do today. Except that Daniel, I don't think ever logged on to help me once, so that was good. In his defense, I did get busy and start doing other stuff for a while, and he kind of lost interest in whatever. Oh, those Brits. But all that's left to do in this area now is to chain a staircase going upwards. And that's it. I also don't know why this is... I can't explain what's going on here. I'm just going to leave that one be. So these guys wanted it to run as a concrete converter, and it looks like it's working just fine. And one of the things I noticed while watching this is I think I know why it always breaks at the same level, because this is where it comes in. So there does need to be a block below this original spawn point on Y50 up here, because the powder comes in as an entity right there. And you can see that's a perfect demonstration of Repper breaking it, but it will always land on that obsidian block or whatever's below it, and it needs to be up there to break. So I think that finally answers one of my questions. I'm going to need to deal with these guys off camera because they're acting like children. Alright, so on my end, I think I'm going to actually start wrapping up the video soon. One more thing needs to be done. So currently, the way for me to turn this on is I just sort of sit here in spectator waiting for the items to not break until everything's nice and synced up. And this clock is in a very inconvenient spot. Like, what are we supposed to do with this lever? So I'm gonna make an on-off point in some spot. I'll try to like maybe connect it to this staircase because this is the easiest way to get in. Maybe I'll figure something else out. I don't know, but I need to figure out a better spot for this input, and then I think we're just about ready to call this thing complete. Except for the staircase, but this video will be complete. Guys, I turned it on without using spectator. I know that you don't need to use spectator, but it just makes things easier. So, we finally got this in place. So this is Pablo's ender pearl door. No. We made like this end stone kind of outcropping, just a nice little cave-like thing. And this is a nice spot where you can just control the clock, turn the farm on and off, and even if the obsidian isn't broken up above, you can even reach it from down here. So you can do everything you need to do from here. And this is supposed to be just like a maintenance on-off area, so maybe it'll be nice that like it's not super cleaned up. But yep, that should be fine, and I'm going to call this a massive success. So, thanks for coming along with this little project of ours. This might be a two-parter. I don't know, I feel like I recorded a lot today. But, yeah, that's it for me. Welcome back to an after video slideshow where I recorded with my streaming settings again. Screw it, we're going to leave it up there. Boy, do I have a little bit of a story for you guys. I decided, hey, I'm going to run the shulker spawner while I'm AFKing the powder duper. Well, as it turns out, the powder duper is ever so slightly outside of my render distance. So 1600 entities brought us down to about 4 TPS. So I'm going to go ahead and render these. Thanks for watching.